right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another segment. And today we are going to cover the topic of the coverage every rider needs before a crash. Welcome to Mototalks with Mitch and Mel, brought to you by Proner & Proner, a law firm with a global presence and expertise that feels local and personal. I'm your host and fellow writer, Mel McGibb. We'll be sitting down with a personal injury expert and writer, Mitch Proner, a lawyer with over 30 years of experience to answer your questions and share insights you'll find useful in the personal injury world. Now, before we get started, remember, folks, all consultations are free and confidential. Reach us at any time at 1-800-321-1234. How are you doing, Mitch?
I'm doing well.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, so really interesting topic we have today. So, yeah, what kind of coverage does every rider need before a crash, would you say?
So you started off by saying that I'm a attorney for over 30 years. I'm also a rider
Good
for
point.
over 40 years.
Oh,
and,
wow.
And so I can tell you from personal experience about what kind of coverage I needed and why it's important. So
Excellent.
I had a serious motorcycle accident back in the 90s.
Okay.
Back in those days, I used to ride day and night, year round. And this accident that I was involved in happened in the winter.
Oh.
And it was late at night, and a cab made a left turn right in front of me. Now, I was riding in Manhattan, and there's a building called the MetLife building. It used to be called the Pan Am building.
Yep.
And basically it goes over Park Avenue. There's an S turn.
Oh.
And I was coming through, going northbound, uptown on my bike.
Yeah.
And as I come through the S turn, it's like it's like a perpendicular turn to the left and then a perpendicular turn to the right. So you can't take that turn more than 15 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And just as I came through, I see two green lights and I'm going. And just as I'm like 5 feet from the end of this little tunnel, a cab comes right in front of me.
Oh my gosh.
And I blasted. So I broke my wrist, my ankle, and 7 bones in my back. And I was laid up for a while, hospitalized and surgeries and the whole thing. Now, I'm okay now. I still ride. I went on to play like men's league ice hockey for the next 20 years.
Wait, well, hold on. I didn't know you played hockey. Tell me this.
Yeah, I did up until I was like in my late 40s, and I was playing with 20-year-olds, and it was just...
I had no idea. That's awesome.
But anyway, so the point is, at that time, a taxi cab only had $25,000 in coverage. Now, that's liability insurance.
Okay.
Later, they changed the rule that cabs had to have $100,000, but at that time it was $25,000. That's liability insurance. Liability insurance is what the other vehicle that injures you pays you up to their limits. I had my own supplemental underinsured motorist coverage. Some supplemental underinsured motorist coverage, or UM, underinsured motorist, or uninsured motorist if the vehicle is not insured. Some supplemental underinsured or UM, uninsured or underinsured. Based on my own coverage, I had $500,000 on my Harley. Now, the higher limits of coverage are typically a lot less expensive than the lower limits of coverage, because the lower limits are more likely to be tapped into. If you get into a bike accident, you got a little road rash, you're probably not going to get more than uh, 10 grand.
Mm.
So that's more likely to be what the coverage is going to pay out. You're less likely to have a payout in the higher limits, but when you get really badly hurt, that's what you need,
Yeah.
because you might not be able to work.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they say, oh, I got to go back to work because I got my mortgage. Well, if you're really badly injured and you're in a hospital with tubes coming out of you like I was, you can't work even if you want to.
Yeah.
So that SUM limit, that's the coverage that you want to have. That's what's going to pay out.
Okay.
So at the very least, find out what it costs to get the increased coverage. Now, a lot of times people call at my office after an accident and I say, what kind of coverage do you have? They might have I had a client broke 2 arms.
Oof.
When you break 2 arms and both your arms are disabled, you can't even wipe yourself.
Yeah.
It's bad, but that can happen on a bike because you're holding your handlebars. And like me, the force can break your arm.
Yeah.
So people call up. I say, what kind of coverage you have? What are your limits? And they say, I got full coverage, like it's the best coverage in the world. That full coverage only means you got fire, theft, and collision. Now, in the collision, full coverage might be up to limits of 10 grand. Typically, full coverage is for the value of the bike. So if your bike's damaged, you'll get a check for your bike. But guess what? If you financed your bike, you're not getting the amount you owe.
Yeah.
So your bike might be worth 10, but you owe 20. Now the insurance company that you got full coverage with is only giving you 10 grand.
Yeah.
You owe 20. Meantime, you could have gotten 300 grand from the other side if you had additional coverage yourself, but you find out the other side only has 25 and you only have 25, so all you're getting is 25. You don't even get your own 25.
Oh my gosh.
You only get their 25. In New York, you can only get the difference from your own policy of what the other side has and what you have. So if the other side is 25 and you have 300, you could have gotten 300 grand. Instead, you spent 10 grand for your bike. You owe 20 and 25 grand for your injuries, and maybe you owe the hospital more than that.
Right.
They gave you emergency Medicaid. Well, guess what? You got to pay that back. That's not free money. If you get from your lawsuit, you still owe that Medicaid money back.
Mm-hmm.
You got a child support lien, that gets paid too. That's the law.
Wow.
So you get that 300. You could pay off the loan on your bike, pay off your child support lien, and you still got 200 grand in your pocket.
Yeah.
Or whatever your limits are.
Right.
So the important thing is SUM. The other thing is if you finance the bike, you can get gap insurance. Gap insurance will cover the difference between what the value of the bike is and what you owe the finance company. So don't worry so much about full coverage. Be concerned more your SUM, and if you finance the bike, the gap insurance. And that's the coverage you need.
That's awesome. That's really great advice. Well, there you have it, folks. Straight from the expert himself, Mitch Proner. If you need our help, please call us 24/7 at 1-800-321-1234. All consultations are free and confidential. That'll wrap it up for now. Thank you for tuning in, whether it's on our podcast or video broadcast. We really do appreciate it. If you haven't done it yet, please follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and of course, YouTube. Like, share, and please subscribe to get the latest and greatest updates. And before we go, Mitch, do you have anything else you want to add?
Yeah. Don't call me up and ask me where to buy insurance. I'm not an insurance broker. If you've had an accident and you want somebody to look at your policy to see what coverage you have, you can call me for that. We do accident cases, and I'll always try and help out a rider. All right, but I don't sell insurance. So good luck to you.
Fair enough. All right. Thanks again, Mitch, for another informative and entertaining session. And thank you all for checking us out. I can't talk. Remember, we ride just like you and are here to help you when you need us. We'll see you next time. I got to go before I cry. Thanks, Mitch.
Be well. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.